School lunches in California will be changing once again, forcing food companies to meet new standards. Schools will begin banning ultra-processed foods of concern, as well as some food dyes. But what is an ultra-processed food? Right now, the state is trying to update the definition of an ultra-processed food to mean any food or beverage that contains high amounts of saturated fat, sodium, or added sugar, and contains substances including stabilizers, thickeners, and propellants. This definition will be redefined by Assembly Bill 1264 to list more exact foods. Health advocacy groups and school districts all over California were for this measure, leading to a 79-1 vote. But food vendors largely voted against this. Let's dive into a timeline of this bill. It passed on October 8th, 2025 and goes into effect in 2026, but selected food dyes won't be banned until the start of 2028. 6 artificial food dyes are on the chopping block, including the infamous Red 40. By June 2028, the State Department of Public Health must have the terms of the bill fully defined for schools to comply. Opponents of AB 1264, a large group of grocers, farmers, and food manufacturers fought against this bill because it can affect the perception of their products, according to Cal Matters. A leader of this coalition, Dennis Albani, said that the definitions are so broad and vague that many both healthy and determined healthy products are going to actually be pulled and labeled as ultra-processed, which in the lexicon of America means dangerous and unhealthy. Multiple factors go into the process of deciding what is an ultra-processed food of concern. Most of it will be decided from conducting and analyzing peer-reviewed health research on risky foods. Risk factors will include links to cancer, obesity, diabetes, and developmental issues. Another aspect is its hyperpalatability and food addiction potential. School districts will have 1 year after that to plan things out, and in July 2029, they must begin phasing out restricted foods and ultra-processed foods of concern. At the beginning of the 2032 school year, that is the deadline for food vendors. All vendors serving California institutions can no longer offer ultra-processed foods to schools. Then, finally in 2035, a complete ban is enforced on all the new restricted foods and ultra-processed foods of concern. This multi-year process requires extensive work between the California school districts and the vendors that sell them food. So how exactly is this going to affect California school districts? 30 million kids depend on school lunches in California. While some districts are ready and have already been making changes to eliminate processed foods, not every district is like that. Many others rely heavily on heat and serve processed food. In order to have lunches that are minimally processed, more districts would have to switch to scratch cooking. Scratch cooking is the process of making meals using only raw ingredients, rather than prepackaged or processed foods. There are 2 key adjustments that need to be made in order to switch to cooking from scratch. The first is hiring more staff. In addition, these employees must know how to actually cook. Programs such as the Healthy School Food Pathway help bring scratch cooking to schools. Secondly, it is a lot easier to get these raw ingredients when it's sourced locally. The schools must increase collaboration with local farmers and food vendors to get these raw ingredients. Removing food dyes and additives takes years to phase out and reformulate for large corporations that sell food to schools. But for local vendors, it's much easier because their ingredients usually have little to no preservatives. This drives business for smaller and more local food vendors rather than the large ones. I talked to Aaron Primer, the Director of Food and Nutrition Services at San Luis Coastal Unified School District. Primer has been a leader in implementing scratch cooking into schools much earlier than this bill was signed. From her experience transitioning her own district to primarily locally sourced meals, Primer sees only benefits for not just districts and local food vendors, but the kids themselves. She found that serving children fresher meals that are connected to the local farms has resulted in higher participation. The district focuses on letting the students know where their meals are coming from.
We're in such a fast and disposable type of time in our food system where we're very disconnected to how it got to our plate. But we find that the more we talk to students about, hey, this grew at this farm, this is the person who grew it, this is what the item is going to do for you in terms of nutritional benefit, kids are more inclined to eat it.
San Luis Coastal School District is ahead of the curve. They built a system with 50 local food vendors to feed their schools. According to Primer, the district's annual budget on food and cafeterias is $3.1 million per year. About half of that, $1.6 million, is spent on purchasing food from local farms and business. Food vendors like to sell to schools, because they are large and reliable buyers. Schools are encouraged to serve as many meals as possible because districts get reimbursed by the state for each meal that is handed out. While San Luis Coastal continues to lead the way to give students excellent meals, other school districts might struggle. San Luis Coastal is located in San Luis Obispo County in the central coast of California, an area surrounded by local farms. Schools located in urban areas may struggle to get locally sourced foods because it's not as accessible. It is reported from UC Berkeley in 2020 that majority non-white schools have less scratch cooking than majority white enrolled districts. 40% of the white districts reported high levels of scratch cooking. This rate is only 27% for non-white districts. This was right before public schools served free meals, beginning in 2021. The same correlation has been happening for schools in more rural areas compared to urban. Districts with more rural areas have higher levels of cooking from scratch. Whether a school is built for it or not, Assembly Bill 1264 is going to result in more scratch cooking in schools. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment down below, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.